All right, well, hello. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kennedy Miller. Right now, we're joined by Democrat Tony Lepore and Republican Charlie Gerow, and we're going to get right to things. We're talking about President Joe Biden today. He made a trip to Philadelphia this morning, then he came a little closer to home here to Harrisburg. So starting off with Charlie, first question is, do you think President Biden's recent trip will change any narratives in the presidential election?
No, I heard that they could have held his event in a Wawa or a sheet store. That's the kind of crowd he's drawing. You see President Trump come to the mid-state. He packs out the Giant Center, and there's 1,000 or 2,000 people standing outside waiting. This is what's going on with the Biden campaign. The people that are going to those events are going to see what's he going to screw up on today.
Tony, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are drastically different. This is what retail politics is. Charlie's talking about bringing people in who will go home and do nothing. The president came in today. He talked to the movers and the shakers in Pennsylvania, the people that are going to go and get the votes for him, the people that will drive the people out and vote. That's what retail politics is. And I think he did a great job today.
And Tony, we're going to start with you with our next question. Can you talk about the importance of Central PA when it comes to winning the state in a presidential election?
Well, I think Central PA plays a role in it. It always does, and especially when the last was, 80,000 votes statewide. So I think there'll be it's always more Philadelphia suburbs, but this year with a congressional race in York that is at the top of the list, I think you're going to see the president here more and national politicians here more.
Central Pennsylvania is very important, and Tony, there is a race in York, but your candidate isn't there. But Central Pennsylvania will play a very, very significant role in the most pivotal state in the Union. If Pennsylvania goes in one direction, that's really where the presidential race is going to go this year. Thankfully, Donald Trump holds a big lead in Pennsylvania right now.
All right.
Well, I wouldn't say big lead.
All right, Charlie. The next question is, former President Trump has previously held large rallies in both Dauphin and Cumberland counties while on the campaign trail. When and where would you expect Trump to come to prior to November election?
I think you'll see a lot of President Trump in Pennsylvania. As I said, it's a pivotal state. He's not just talking to folks that aren't going to do anything or are going to home. He's talking to the faithful. He's talking to people that are going to be getting their neighbors and friends out to vote. He's talking to the base, which is expanding every day.
Well, again, he needs to come to Pennsylvania because he lost last time. And he lost by, 80,000 votes. It's going to be over 100,000 votes this time. We have the state's third U.S. Senator, President Biden, and I think he is going to not only win Pennsylvania, but win it with more than he did last time.
The third U.S. Senator. My God, we are in trouble, too.
All right, well, Charlie, do you think this is the first of more visits by the president before the November election?
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, you're going to see both of these candidates in Pennsylvania a lot. You're going to see their surrogates here. Again, I know Tony and I agree on this. As Pennsylvania goes, so goes the nation.
And again, you don't hear me say this often. I agree with Charlie. But
that was an easy one.
No, Pennsylvania is the top state. There's, a handful, 5 or 6 or 7. Pennsylvania is absolutely at the top. Like Charlie said, you're going to see the president, you're going to see Trump, and then you're going to see a bunch of surrogates here nonstop.
All right, and I got one more question for you guys. Let's talk about President Joe Biden's performance overall. How do you think he's been doing these past couple of days?
Did you watch the debate a few days back? He hasn't really improved his game much. The good news is the president can still read. When he has the teleprompter in front of him, he does a little better, but only marginally so. In all seriousness, this is a sad situation. It really is. And I make light of it, but folks that suffer from dementia deserve our...
Come on,
and there's not really any question about that at this point. There really isn't, Tony. And I feel bad for him.
I mean, listen, he had an off. He's not a great debater. He is not a great debater. He's not Charlie Gerow. But what he is,
Lucky him.
He is substance. He is policy. And you're seeing that today. You saw that yesterday. You're going to see that tomorrow. So I think the sky has not fallen, no matter what some people say. And I think you're going to see an active president through the rest of the season.
All right. Well, that does it for us. We're kind of out of time here. Thank you, Charlie and Tony,
It's
for
great
both
to be
coming out
with
here
you.
today. For now, we're going to send things to Ed Russo with our forecast.